Because to love God, to say you love God, you have to know that existence is God. The universe is God. Everything is God. That is what to love God. You have to know that everything is God. We are not separate even from the diseases and everything. The reason why diseases, when they attack us, they bring us down is because we are resisting, we are pulling them to the darkness. First of all, we create them as negative entities because all diseases are not of God. This is how dumb we are, humans. And this is going on even everywhere in the mosques, in the churches. This is not of God. This is not of God. This is not of God, says who? When you ask someone, is there any other higher power apart from God that is bringing the things which are not of God? They don't give you an answer. What you dump dumps you back. Simple physics. Simple physics. You cannot immediately, you have a relative, a friend, any other person. You have separated from them and you are carrying them even up to this moment. Even myself, if there's anyone who I'm carrying up to this moment, I cannot forgive them. I have separated with them. I have cut some part of God out. And those people whom we have separated from, we have hated, we cannot forgive, we have put them in darkness. They will continue to haunt us each and every moment. Utawakumbuka kila siku. The more you remember them, the more painful it is to you. The more you are weakening your immune system. The more everything is crumbling. You have put them in darkness, but maybe you are the one who put them in darkness, but they have not put you in darkness. They will continue living their lives. That same person who wronged you, who you can't forgive, the reason why you'll be carrying, you will be waiting for them to apologize so that you forgive them. The next moment, you'll see them living happily. In fact, they are ahead of you, and they didn't have to forgive you because they didn't put you to darkness. You are the ones who put them to darkness, so they pulled you to darkness. You are carrying them up to now, and they have moved on. They have moved on. They are living good, expanding in prosperity. You still carrying pain. That is the darkness. That is when you put something into darkness, it puts you there. It locks you there. When you put something into darkness, it pulls you from the light to darkness. This is simple physics. It is simple mathematics. Everything is God. Period. Kuna story mingi. And yes, we can believe in the scriptures. They are here to guide us. They are here to inspire us. But baseline is everything is God. Thou shalt love your God by all your heart and all your soul. And the second one is, thou shalt love thy neighbor as you love yourself. There is no greatest commandment than these two, because these two commandments are one commandment. You can, if you say you want only to work on the one commandment of loving God with all your heart and all your soul, then you have to know this: God resides in every other person. You cannot go to God without passing through every other person. Thou shalt love your neighbor as you love yourself. It's because without loving any other person, you have not opened the gate to God who resides in another person. These are two commandments, but they are one, meaning that everything is God. It doesn't matter identities. I am this, he is that, separation. I am Muslim, I am Christian, separate. My God is real, your God is fake, separation. There is no my God, there is no your God. There is no my religion, there is no your religion. There is only God. Either it's a Christian who is of Jesus. There are Muslims who are of Allah. There are Indians who honors the cow. They are all of God. They are all of God. Even that other God of other religion, which you say is a false God, is of God. Because in the beginning, God was alone. Nothing outside of him, nothing exists outside of him. So everything is God, is within God, each and every little thing. Each and every little thing. The reason why we are not experiencing God, we are separating ourselves from God. Your religion, my religion. My class, your class. My tribe, your tribe. Separation. This is the greatest tool. It's the greatest weapon, separation. And it is even being used against ourselves by our own political leaders, by our own religious leaders, our own religious leaders. You'll find Muslim sheikhs saying that Christianity, they're worshiping this and that. You know, that this a lot of bullshit about the other religion. And Christians here, oh, Allah, they are worshiping a demon, a deity, and this and that. Separation. Like my God is good, your God is not good. Who said? We are all of one God. The one infinite creator who just is without any definition, any. And I said as earlier, as we started, immediately you describe God. You have not described God. What immediately you describe God, what you have described is not God, because God cannot be described. Immediately you define God, that is not God, because God cannot be defined. Above that, immediately you lock God, that is not God. Because God cannot be locked, because everything is God. When you lock God in the walls of your house of worship, that here is only where we can find God, everything is God. That place of worship could be small and the universe could be another size. and the whole universe is God. Separation. We are not experiencing God because of separation. All the turmoils we are experiencing is because of separation. All the turmoils, every one of us here, everyone, no one has got no turmoils in life. Everyone here who are here. Do you know those turmoils? We are all experiencing them, and those issues we are all experiencing them because of separation. We have put them into darkness. Now they've pulled us to darkness to experience them. Claim the divine out of them. The situations, the turmoils which we have in our lives, we claim the divine out of it. We claim the divine out of it. See how things turn around. Because when you claim the divine, you claim that love. Because love is the one which split into light and darkness. So when in the darkness you claim the divine, you experience that which is behind that darkness, which is love. The problem is that when we experience the light, we do not want to know, is there something behind this light? People think that, oh, I am of light, God is light, that God is light, and so this is it. No. Light is part of God. It's not the totality of God. It's part of God. Behind that light, there is love. It's just a pyramid. Up is love, down is light. The other side is darkness. Period. And the state which God is at is the center space. He is at that space, which is not defined by this or defined by that. That state which is not defined by darkness, that state which is not defined by light. He is in that state of judgmental, the zero state. That's why number 0 is the infinite number. Because 0 there are 9 numbers. These 10 numbers, number 1 to 0. Number 0 is infinite because it fits into each and every other number without altering the number to turn it into another frequency, because every number is a frequency. When it is with 1 remains to be 1. When it is in 2 remains to be 2. The infinite, 0. When you are told this is a circle, a 0, draw the beginning to the end of that circle, you will draw to infinite. That is the state which God is, the neutral state. That state which is not defined by anything. And actually, that is the real state which we are always called to be into. When we are told just be your real, true, your true self, your true divine self. Just be your true divine self. The true divine self is this one. Is not the you who is defined by your tribe, by your name, by your family, by your class, by the salary you get, by the class, by the job you do, by the religion you are, by your beliefs, by anything. Your true divine self is not defined by anything. When you come into that state, which you are not defined by anything, that is a godly state. And this state is called be still and know that I am God. Stillness, the present moment. which is not judging what is coming and what has passed. It is there present. Neutrality, the 0 point, the highest state of God. And this is where you won't be able even to judge. Any situation which is presented to your experience, you are always called to approach it at a neutral state. This is the greatest reason why we are called to do that. Approach every situation in a neutral state. Because immediately you approach it at a neutral state, you won't be able to give it judgment immediately. And you will have the power to respond to it. Immediately, you don't approach when a situation is presented to you and you are it's a negative situation by itself. But first, it does not, you are, no matter how negative it might seem to be, usually at first phase is called prima facie, at first sight. That situation is always at a neutral state because it's of God. It's always at a neutral state. Then, this is what happens. First, we judge it. Judgment is separation. Judgment does not come without separation. First, we separate from it, we create a wall, then we judge it. And immediately you judge something, you give an identity to it. After giving it judgment, you give it an identity. That this is the craziest situation which I knew it will come to haunt me. That time when it was coming at first sight, it was at the neutral state, at the godly state, without identity. Then we give it an identity, then it becomes that. By the same measure, we have judged it. By the same measure, we are judged by it. Denying God. Immediately you have denied God in something, you have separated from it and you have placed it under judgment and you have thrown it into darkness. Not knowing that everything is one with you. Immediately you throw it there, it's joined to you. There is a cord, a string which is joined to you. It pulls you through the same string. You experience that. And sometimes things are brought to us for lessons. The reason why the devil is very powerful is because we gave him dominion and power. Something, a lesson is brought to us to learn through it so that it can elevate us to another stage. What we do, we give dominion and powers over that to add to some entity. It's the devil. Unaanza kukemea mapepo. Let me tell you one thing. This is the grander truth. This universe is complex. When you rebuke even an evil entity, you have rebuked yourself. This is the one secret about polarity. All negative entities, they will at all costs, maintain their polarity. It's not like us, eh? Not like the side of light. The side of light, eh? Anytime you can be pulled down. Like in darkness, at all costs, it will always maintain its polarity. Immediately you overwhelm it. When it knows you want to pull it to the side of light, it vacates. The reason Why I'm saying this is people are making dramas. I've seen it. Even I'm living near a church, and people are always rebuking evil spirits every Friday. Even today, they are doing that up to morning, and it doesn't even take. It doesn't take rebuking anything. You are of darkness. Acknowledge them. What I'm sharing with you right now is not something it's not something I read somewhere. It's not something I saw in a video. It's something I have done myself. Someone is possessed and they are darkness, and just tell you because they are on the other side, and I said clearly, I greet you, for you are one with me, and I share with you, and I welcome you in the love and the light of the one infinite creator. And they vacated there and there. No rebuking, no wastage of words and energy. Just sharing with them and welcoming them, greeting them with the love and light. Because when they come to you, they greet you with the love and darkness. There are two things. There is love and light, and love and darkness. Because darkness and light are all of that one creator, which is love. You don't need to scatter. You don't need to send Holy Ghost fire. You just greet the dark side with love, and darkness vacates. When you light a candle in a dark room, whole room, the darkness vacates. It does not even fight back, because darkness is passive. It does not have energy by itself. People, I don't know if you understand this. Everything is energy. There is a negative wire and a neutral wire, a positive and a negative wire. When you touch the positive wire, you will get an electric shock. When you touch the negative wire, you get nothing. That is what God is. When you bring the light inside a room of darkness, it fills the whole room. The whole room lights up. Let me tell you one thing. If I tell you to go and collect darkness from wherever you can collect it and come it to a room, let's say I am in a room and my lights are on, I tell you to fetch for me some darkness outside the door and bring it inside the room, and the light to vacate, my friend. You can't even imagine that. It's not even possible. That's how it is. And at the same time, when I open the door, immediately I open the door, the light will overflow outside and replace more darkness. But that darkness, no matter how dark it is, it cannot overflow. It can, when you open all your windows, and if you don't believe me, anyone can open their windows right now, put on your lights, make sure all your security lights are off, it's dark outside, then see if darkness will overflow through your windows inside the room of light. Yeah, now people to talk. I want people to talk. Kamau is back. I think he had connection issues. Brother Kamau.
Hey. Sorry, I had to do something real quick. But yes, I'm back now. Um, Definitely, brother. Thank you all for being here with us today. learning, teaching. It's a very interesting topic, or rather, a very true topic if you look at it as what it is. Like you saying, brother, is being oneness, or oneness, or rather the opposite of that, which is separation, is at the root cause of all problems. And I think if you look at it from any angle, you can see that most things are one. Uh, and so if you separate them, you would find that uh, it is now whole, or rather being oneness with God. God is everything, like we're saying. However, again, most people vibrate from the perspective of separation. And again, you explained it so well how people do this by identity, or identifying, or giving labels to whatever it is they are, whether it's a man and a woman. So they give themselves a label of being a man and a woman. And when they see a man or a woman, they have already separated themselves from the other. Or if you see an animal and you're a human being, you have separated yourself from the animal. Or you see a plant, the same thing, or insect, the same thing. So you can kill, you can violate, you can do whatever you want to do, because in your mind or in your thinking, the other is not you. So you have the right to, kill it for food, or you have the right to, hate the other one because they are not, uh, they are not of the same religion, or you are better than them because or you're better than a woman because you are a man, or a woman is is um, is superior, or is in a way better than a man because a man is such and such way, without recognizing that their man issue, or is the same issue, or the same, or part of the whole, or part of you. So there's no you without the other, whatever it is, whatever is uh, in nature, whatever that you. And again, you have to understand what God is to begin with, to understand the oneness, you know. And again, because most people separate themselves from God and say, "Hey, God is in the skies," or "God is Jesus," or whoever the term is God to be, as a separate entity from themselves. And so, in doing so, they kind of reduce themselves, or divide themselves to be separate from this so-called God, even worshiping this God, which is supposed to be outside of them, and them not being able to be one with God, because again they're looking at looking at God as a separate entity. Uh, Again, this is where most of the problem starts. Even whether it's like I say, having or feeling that you're superior, or feeling that you have the right to either kill you for whatever reason, whether it's you want to defend yourself, or there's a war because you're defending your country, or you want to hate, the other because they are now from your tribe, or they are now from your religion. So you judge them, and you say they are you are better than them, or again giving titles of things. Again, we look at polarity and we see that is the wholeness of one. It is not the the opposite. It's not separate. Is plurality is saying, like you say, two different sides of the same coin. You can't say it's a separate coin or it's something different or separate. And again, the problems comes in, or people create problems by looking at them and identifying or giving them titles as being two separate things. Looking like, okay, you have God and you have the devil. Then you have the good and you have the bad. So if something is not good, it has to be bad. And again, this is what creates a lot of the issues that we see in the world today. And I appreciate you explaining it or breaking it down so well as it being the same thing, and there is no other without the other. They come together, and the only way to experience them fully is to understand them as them being the same thing. Um, and again, this is where most of the issues of why uh, human beings uh, don't get to uh, raise in vibration to reach the levels that they can fully experience God or fully experience life as it is intended to be. Again, this is again life. If you look at it, it is it's coded their way for everything to be together. There is no separation, and in most cases, again, when you create separation, you create uh, the issues, or there's some type of issues that will come into play. Whether you're talking about a human body, or whether you're talking about society, whether you're talking about the world as a whole, whether you're talking about the universe, whether you're talking about the galaxies, all of them, they are together as one. Um, and again, the separation of now understanding that everything is one and everything is part of you creates the judgments and creates the labels and creates the issues that we normally have. But again, I'm appreciating the teachings of being one, or the oneness with God, and the polarities, which again, those are there for us to experience life, because again, you would not be able to know one without the other. You would not be able to experience one without the other. If the other wasn't present, you would not know, the other. For example, if you didn't experience darkness, you would not know what light is. If you didn't experience the title we give good or positive, you would not know what negative or bad was. And again, the separation, or not understanding that these things are all one, is what creates a lot of issues for most. Again, when you go into somebody, uh, not understanding that you are one with mentally, physically, and spiritually, and separating them as three different things, you find that the balance is is, is or the life of somebody is out of balance, because they are not comprehending, or they are not experiencing fully uh, with all the aspects of who they are. But yeah, I'm thankful for you guys giving or sharing with us their understanding, because I think it's very important for anybody, especially somebody who wanna be on the right path, or be rather on a spiritual path, or be in a fullness path, to understand the importance of oneness, and also to understand the importance of being one with God, and also to understand the need or the importance again of pluralities of those two sides of the coin, and understanding that they are not separate, understanding that they are not opposite. However, uh, they are two sides of the same thing, and it cannot be complete without one side cannot be complete without the other side.
Yep. Thank you, Brother Kamau, for that nice and very beautiful comment. Carol, anything to add? Carol, Sheila, Carol, I mean, okay, Carol has a mute. Yes, Carol.
Much has been said. Because as I was listening, I was reminded that the Word of God says, me and my Father are one, and we are invited to go into that fellowship of oneness. So as one is in another, Christ in me, and He is in the Father, and the Father is in Him. You will never exhaust that a relationship once you tap into it, and that is an amazing place to be. The only challenge that we as believers need to wake up to is the reality of what it means being one with God. So that's the only place. So there's a place you said, sisi wenyewe tunajiangusha. It's a truth. Sisi wenyewe tunajiangusha. So the sooner we wake up to that reality, the many greater things shall we do. And as we are awakening such experiences as you've shared when you were visiting with Waiguru will be a normal, and that is where the Lord is waiting for us to reach. So the sooner we get there, the better. And it's an exciting place to be, and I'm hungry for more. Thank you.
Yeah, karibu sana, karibu sana. Sheila, anything?
I was just thinking,
No, uko alert, eh? Today you are alert.
mimi unaona vile unataka kuniketililia hata si kuniingililia. I was just wondering, when you think about polarity, we've talked about polarity, and then there is duality. Would you be able to just touch on that? They sometimes changanya me, you know? Maybe you can expound a little bit on the same.
Actually, polarity, the polarity is that is about the polarities are the lower states of God. Because after love, there came forth light and darkness. So these are the polarities. But the duality is the dance which we are now dancing in those polarities. I am this, Marome kule kwengine, I am that, I am this. And you know, one moment we go to the light, I am this. Then the next moment, we jump to the darkness. I am this. Yani, we are, duality is just that dance. There is that state of polarity, then there is this dance of duality. So it is like it's like something it's like just some learning or what. Actually, it's very hard to define the whole experience, because no one knows what is the end product of everything. So for us, it's like we every time we are brought into this world, immediately we come out of our mother's womb, we are given two toolboxes, one of darkness, full of darkness, and one of full of light. Now, take forth. That's what we are experiencing. Today we are okay, tomorrow we're experiencing shit. The other time we are okay. We pull from this box when it doesn't suit you. You know, I'm not this. I pull from that box and balance this, and I do that, and all these are one. They are all my boxes. So duality is just the game or the dance.
We ever get to a level of consciousness where now, as opposed to yo-yoing, you are so in tune, so
Mm.
charge of yourself in all your faculties, to the point that you don't oscillate now more towards the dark, but you keep on growing and expanding more in the light.
Yes, you asked like how, when, or how. Just come up again with that question.
I said I'm wondering. You see, we have said
Mhm.
that you have said that duality is us guys experiencing polarity, right?
Mhm.
Lower
Yeah.
state of God. So I am wondering that now you have said that for duality, we can experience the extreme, either the of one or the other. So if we're saying the extreme of light and darkness, right, within us
Yeah.
as human beings, the manifestation of the same within us, because then you're like, we get pulled to one side. So ideally, if we are always pulled towards darkness, when it comes to raising our vibration and really walking in the level of consciousness that takes us to be such high vibrational beings, do we get to that place where we can now not get, we have now done our own work within us to the point that we don't get pulled towards the dark, but we now are able to take charge of who we are, our mind, our spirit, our body, our emotions, and then now dwell more on the side that is positive. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, actually, for us to attain that state where we are at the state of balance, is to stay in the neutral point. You know that point, Like take water. Take a container of water. You know this is cold water. You have tested you have checked by your hand. This is cold water. Now this water, you are boiling this water. Now there is that point where that water, it was too cold before. Now it's reached to a state, that state which is less cold, and the same place where that water is little hot. That state where hot water meets the cold water, when you are boiling hot water to become boiling water. That state when you say this is dark and this is light, that state when you say this is where darkness ends and this is where light starts. That point, like this is the point where this is no longer ice, but at this state it's less ice. Like you say, this state is less ice and more water. Do you know what? Those states do not exist. There's no too much hot and less much cold. There is no, I am very happy and I'm a little happy. There's no, I'm very sad and I'm little sad. There is sadness and happiness. So when you are told to be at that point where each meets the other one, where it can define that, oh, this is too much, this is less much angry, this is little much happiness. They do not exist by themselves, those states. But that is the state which we are supposed to tap, the state that does not judge anything, the state of beingness, the state of stillness. Whatever you approach in a state of, at a neutral state, not giving judgment to anything, but knowing that everything is God. The state of no judgment, the state of not giving identity. That's the state. When we reach, tutakuwa tumefika hapo. And this state is called being your true divine self. That self that is not defined by anything, even by that situation which is happening. You got me, Sheila?
Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
Just being yourself. Ndo maana most of the times, to just for life to unfold to you, just be your true self. Just be. And everything unfolds, because when you become to the state of being, you become in tune with the universe. And this is one thing about the universe. You can see there are crazy situations going on all around. Everything is crazy. You can be experiencing, you can be experiencing a negative situation. But the secret of the universe is that everything is in perfect divine order. Even that negative situation is in divine order, perfect divine order. That's why everything works out for the highest good for those who believe in God, because everything is God. That negative situation, claim the divine in that. The universe is in a perfect divine order. There are no incidences or accidents. If you crash your car and you die, it was meant to be. It was. Everything was meant to be. Every experience you have experienced, it was meant to be. The reason why gods tell you, when you go to him, you go with thanksgiving. He wants you to be grateful for everything, because everything is God. Not going to God with the crying. My husband this, my husband that. My wife this, my wife that. Pastor, pray for my husband. Everything is God. Claim the divine in your husband. Claim the divine in your wife. You will experience the divine. Hakuna mapepo. There are no evil spirits. There's nothing. Claim the divine. Period. The divine, that which you claim, which is the same divine which is within you. Same divine. Claim that and be that. Because when you claim the divine, you be that divine. And most of our happenings outward, they are part of our creation and participation in the existence, because nothing is by accident. And we are experiencing wherever we are. Everyone is experiencing their universe because everyone is experiencing their own level of vibration. The funniest thing, when you hear someone saying that, wow, I'm looking for a husband, he should be a loving husband, caring husband, honest husband. The biggest question is, all those things you have, the qualities you have mentioned, are you vibrating to those frequencies? You cannot go anywhere and pray to God to bring you a husband with the qualities which you do not have. Everyone is given a perfect share of experiences of their own level of vibration. If your wife is crazy, then there is craziness in you. Everything is just reflecting back to us. Everything is a projection of what is going on within us, as within, so without. Every other person is a reflection of who you are. Every other person is a mirror. What you experience in another person is a reflection of who you are. There's no separation. The more we are trying to come into oneness with everything, we are struggling, but oneness in another round is one with us. The oneness we are seeking is already one with us, but we have to realize it. So this oneness, when we are not one with that, we are not seeking to realize this oneness. Without you realizing it, it is still there, one with you. The same oneness is one with you. So every other person is who you are. What you experience from another person is always the reflection of who you are. When you are experiencing negative people, it's because you attracted them. What you give out is what you receive out. You receive back. Well shaken. Everything around you speaks of who you are. That's why we are told to walk in awareness. Awareness is to be present in each and every aspect of your reality. Each and every aspect. How does this dog behave when I'm around? People do not take time even to see how animals behave when they are around, so that they can even know their state, and their levels of vibration, because animals and plants are good barometers, very good barometers to tell you who you are. So whatever we are experiencing outside is just things we are being shown. Hey, pay attention. This is who you are. Then guess what we do? We start blaming ourselves. Because when we point fingers to the situations outside and everybody outside, it is all the reflection of who you are. So you are blaming yourself. You are not blaming someone else outside of you. That is how oneness is one with us, without even us wanting or even endeavoring to seek that oneness, to realize it so that we can unlock the mysteries of oneness. Oneness. Who else? Susan, if you're still awake. Susan. Susanna. Regina. Maybe they slept. Gikonyo, who was the first one?
I have not slept.
Carol, who's that? Who's not slept? Who spoke?
Sorry?
In Carol?
No, Regina.
Miss Regina.
And Regina. Oh, okay. Can you say something, Regina?
Wow. About what? Sorry.
You are sleeping.
No, not quite. I've been awake, but I'm more of a listener.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all I would say is I'm benefiting a lot from the talk. Yeah, today I had the chance to know what duality means. When she asked what it is, I was almost asking, what is that? Now I know. Yeah, I'm growing day by day.
Great.
Thank you.
There, Regina. Thank you. Susan Kabilu. Susan Kabilu. Susan Kabilu. Mwangi Gikonyo. In meditative state. So, what is the way forward? What is the way forward as we seek this one to becoming one with God? There is, I always like saying, like, to experience God is very hard, but at the same time, to experience God is very easy. And these things, when we are called to say, let's say, like we are called to call upon the divine upon every situation, or from everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what they are. People will take this to be light things, simple things, but they are very powerful things because they work. These things, there is nothing I have never put into practice and it works there and there, like miracle. It works there and there. That's when sometimes I always tell people that there is plenty of God. Atashila, I told you there is plenty of God if you want to find God. There is plenty of God. Imagine that shoe, those shoes, that pair of shoes which you will always be wearing. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up and just proclaim the divine out of them. See where they take you. See what happens to that road which they step. Try these things. Do not, Angalia, do not take everything as final. These things, you have to validate yourself. Ask spirit within. Hey, spirit within me. Confirm to me whatever this guy is talking about. Is it true or false? When a spirit tells you it's false, leave it. If we say spirit tells you it is, try it. Do not keep it because spirit confirmed. Try it and see what happens. Everything is practice. Life is practice. Existence itself is practice. Everything we do is practice. You are not sleeping, you are practicing sleeping. You are not eating, you are practicing eating. You are practicing law. He is practicing, he is a practicing doctor. No one does anything, everything we practice, because nothing is yet. Nothing is not yet in our reality, nothing has reached the totality of what God is, which is the totality of all consciousness. So everything is still moving up. In that house, in those many mansions, everything. So no one is living life. People are practicing life. And practice is what makes perfect. Practice everything. Practice everything. This is how you practice everything. Claim the divine. Be that. Know that you are not separate with that. Know that you are one with that, which is one with the all. Knowing that that which you seek is within you, very near than your own nose. Knowing that it is there every moment, not only when you call upon it, but it is on 24/7. People, it takes only the knowing. It only takes the knowing and you experience God. Be still and know. Only the knowing to experience God. But many will perish because of lack of knowledge. They don't want to know. Just the knowing. When you make it a knowing that God is within me and around me, because everything is God. And He is within me on 24/7. When you walk with that knowing, you will experience God 24/7. Everything within you will be of God. Everything within you becomes of a perfect divine order. Everything around you, you experience God from everything around you, because you walk with the knowing that God is within me and around me. And it doesn't even need for me to call upon Him, because He is already there taking care of everything. He is already there. Whatever is coming ahead of me and it is wrong, God puts it right. That Christ which I'm seeking is within me. I am one with that. When you have that full knowing, that is what total surrender is. Total surrender is not lip service. I surrender to you, Lord. No. Total surrender is knowing that I'm closing my eyes, but I know the one who is walking is Himself. That knowing that this is a hole, a dark hole. I'm jumping. And I don't care, because I know there is a hand which is going to catch me before I hit the floor of that hole. That knowing that knows that everything is in perfect divine order. That knowing that knows that all is God. The knowing that knows that everything is the totality of all that is, then everything becomes that. That is total surrender. You never strive to achieve this. You never strive to achieve that. You never struggle to prevent this, or you never struggle to prevent that, because you are walking with the knowing. And the same way the Christ became Jesus, the same way the Christ within you becomes you as itself. You will go there, someone is dead, and tell them, wake up. This guy is not sleeping, and they will rise from the dead. And these are the greater works which Jesus told us. You guys, you can do greater than this. Don't get surprised by the little tricks I'm doing. You guys can do greater than this. Munishinde mimi. Because he knew. He knew. There is nothing which, when you're one with it, can get out of your control, because it is you. You move it the way you want. You're one with it. There's no crazy situation which is going to break you down, because you are one with that. You choose how to move it to serve your highest good. Tuko pamoja? There is where I'm going to stop. And mine is to encourage all of you to seek the divine in everything, to experience this God, which is in plenty, to experience this kingdom, which is of God, because there is no any other kingdom outside this universe. And the kingdom of God is not a planet. It's not a time to come. It is the universe itself. It is the kingdom which is of God.